Now, in many parts of the United Kingdom, there has been a gradual return of shoppers to the high street and more people back at the workplace, in stark contrast to the empty streets and the railway stations and the city skyscrapers of central London. Google is just one of the big employers telling staff to stay at home until next summer. And with West End theatres closed and many hotels, bars and shops still not open, the centre of what is usually one of the world's most vibrant capital cities is facing a rather uncertain future. Our business correspondent Emma Simpson has more details.
Piccadilly Circus, usually buzzing. London attracts the crowds, but they disappeared overnight during lockdown. Busy stations with commuters, they were deserted too. The city emptied as workers stayed home. But look at it now. The big firms aren't rushing to bring their office workers back anytime soon. Not good news if you rely on them for a living. They used to serve coffees by day here and cocktails at night, and they're not sure when they can reopen.
They chose to put their offices in the city, in London Bridge, in King's Cross, because there's a whole ecosystem to support them. You know, because they can go to the bars and the restaurants and the dry cleaners and the pubs, and it's a great place for their employees to be. But unless they come back soon, none of those businesses will be there. So they'll be coming back to an empty office building with nowhere to get lunch.
The shoemaker, the Italian, the pub and Pret, they're all still closed. Many of our cities have yet to bounce back, but London's problems are particularly acute. Here in the financial district, it's normally a bustling economic powerhouse, but it just feels so eerily quiet. In central London, footfall is still down 69%. Hello? Cabbies always have a good idea what's going on. Michael's been one for 21 years. Today he's had just 5 jobs in 11 hours and is now thinking of giving up for good.
I don't think it'll recover from this. I don't think these office blocks here will ever be full again. People are getting used to working at home because there's no one on the streets. No one at the stations, no one in hotels. Obviously the theatres are closed. No tourists.
Next stop, the Tower of London, to meet a professional tour guide whose income has dried up. How does this compare to, say, this time last year?
It's incomparable. You can't compare. For us, the summer season is, you could work almost every day for 3 months. I work with American tourists, and of course all my work was completely cancelled.
Over in the West End, they're now cancelling this long-running musical permanently. Not viable with all the restrictions. People are out though, and there is hope.
London is the greatest city in the world. We need to remember that we are a resilient city, we are a strong city, but it's important that everyone feels confident and comfortable getting back onto the high street, getting back into restaurants and pubs and supporting the businesses that are the backbone of our city.
Reminders of the challenges are everywhere in a city that's trying to adapt.